title, the World Championship.
He's got it. Great shot.
And hits the jack and changes everything dramatically.
Cracking ball.
She's got the weight, she's got the line.
Here.
He's hit it. She has won the gold medal in a pulsating final.
It's been a marathon, not a sprint. 2 weeks of pulsating action here for the World Bowls Championship at the tourist mecca, Australia's tourist mecca, the Gold Coast, and we zoom in on the fabulous Broadbeach Bowls complex for what will be our final day of finals action. Joined by Carla Krasanik and Barry Lester, two of our great champions. And haven't we seen some great action over the last couple of weeks? And today is all set up for unbelievable action. Are you a little sad because your 7-year reign as World Triples Champion is finally over?
Oh, look, I was a little lucky to hang on for that extra few years, but no, looking forward to today's lineup, Australia versus New Zealand. We couldn't ask for anything better. The crowd's already pumped. Lynsey Clarke Kelsey Cottrell skipping against Val Smith. That's about 1,000 games between them for their countries, so that's going to be a great game.
Look at these conditions. Again, it's just pristine weather. We've just been so blessed. Now, this is the road to the final. Both Australia and New Zealand, before we get into this, what is going to be a very rowdy Trans-Tasman contest, they both had hiccups, didn't they, along the way?
Yeah, they both had some really close ones where they just got over the line. So we saw New Zealand in their quarterfinal only winning by 1, and then Australia in their semi-final only winning by 1 as well. So both had really tough games to get to the final here.
We look at the participants in this, and we see some of the great names in women's bowling, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Like, you can look at Kelsey Cottrell, over 500 games. Lynsey Clarke, she's playing her last game for Australia here today. Hayman, the newer one in the team, but she's super experienced as well. So that's just a phenomenal lineup.
Is there a favourite, Barry, coming into this?
I guess you just probably have to rely on the home ground advantage. All players there know these greens very well, Pat. So that's something they'll try and use in their favour. But this green speed does favour New Zealand in a way because it's 17 seconds and they are used to quick greens.
I know Val Smith very well. Leeane, Poulson, I'll tell her story as the morning unfolds, but Tayla Bruce, of course, comes in on a high. The world singles champion, the newly appointed.
Yeah, absolutely. And she played so well in the Helensvale quick greens. So I think it's going to suit her today. It's looking really slick in the roll-up so far. And yeah, she's already a world champion and knows how to win them.
If you've been watching our telecast right the way over the last couple of weekends, you'll know that we've had unprecedented access to the teams just before they go onto the greens for this final. And thanks to Audica, they've done it again.
Are we going to stick with our original game plan?
Yes. Did we find out whether the lines fit right?
Are the right spot?
Yeah. There was like a thicker line, so we can look at that.
Yeah.
And then plan B is long, I suppose.
Yeah.
Long.
Get on top early, I think.
Yeah. And just enjoy the crowd.
Yeah,
behind
the
us.
vibe. AO vibe.
Yeah, it's true. That's right. Think about AO.
Yeah. Good
And it looked like both sides were pretty good when the boys played. Like Corey started on one side and then he swapped, and it looked like he was.
The only thing I was going to say is if we have to play that yard or two, it just seemed to hang tight.
Yeah,
going up there on the
more on the tight side.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So guys, here we are, World Championship final.
Yep. We're going to enjoy this, aren't we?
Going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Worked hard to get here. All these games to enjoy this moment. This is what we've trained for.
Keep playing in that same spirit that we've played, that's got us here. And I think, mate, regardless of the situation, let's just take a moment at some stage during the game, just look around you and go, wow, what an honour, what a privilege to be here and to be playing in a World Championship final.
Representing
our country.
Yeah. Special moment.
Yeah, very special moment. Enjoy it. Have fun.
Yep.
Yeah,
cool.
Let's do it.
Well, there's some great insights there, but I think for today it's all about the conditions. Fast running greens down here, 17 seconds. Seeing some grass clippings, so the greens have been brushed and been rolled, so we're going to see some fast play, but I think one of the key components to this today is seeing the players really bring their energy. The crowd's going to provide energy, but the players are going to be up and about. We've got the music blaring, and Val Smith, close to 650 games. She's going to try and use all that experience along with the experience of Australia to try and force the hand to try and beat Australia on these hard and fast greens here. But it's going to be a classic match. Really looking forward to this.
Now we've made a mad dash upstairs. I've got the voice of Australian bowls, Clive Adams, beside me. I can tell you, just in the lead up to this, They're divided on party lines over there in that undercover grandstand. There's a lot of noise. The Trans-Tasman rivalry is alive and well.
They are ready to be loud. This is, I mean, it doesn't get any better than Australia versus New Zealand. You know, over the years we've seen some magnificent clashes, and this is going to be another one with just a few other elements thrown in. You know, with Lynsey Clarke, 458 games for Australia. This will be her last, and I just think this is going to be great, and there's an expectation about the crowd for this one.
Carla, tell us a little bit about Lynsey. I mean, it's obviously an emotional day for her, but she's got to try and compartmentalise now, hasn't she?
Yeah, look, I think the thing with Lynsey is she's such a professional player, so she'll be very... I don't think she's even thinking about this as her last game right now. She's in the zone, completely aware that this is a final, playing off for a gold medal. The whole emotion of it being her last game, sure, that'll take over after the game, but right now she's so professional. She's focused on doing her job today and doing her job for the girls out there. And, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to this game. I was about to say, in the roll-up, they were clapping and cheering for bowls that got close, so this crowd is ready to go here.
Just saw the graphic quote, so just go through the rules and regs for those who don't know a lot about bowls and joining us for the first time.
Yeah, so the triples format is 2 bowls per player, and we'll play 18 ends to determine our winner. And of course, if we're all tied up after 18 ends, then we'll go overtime of 1 end. But yep, 18 ends, and I'm sure we are going to enjoy each and every one of them here.
We're here at the home of the Broadbeach Bulls. This was the main venue used for the Commonwealth Games, of course, in 2018, where we saw so many heroics achieved, and it was a very loud affair. Now, this, it may not be what you expect at home, but this is a made-for-TV green, isn't it, Carla?
Yeah, it is. So we've got the grandstands set up on the green, so and we're just the one rink sort of isolated in between the grandstands, so it gives it this really special atmosphere, having the spectators right on top of you, basically. I don't know, it really adds to the feel for the players. It really helps get you sort of in the zone to know that you're playing a really important game, and I think as a player you really look forward to the opportunities to play on these rinks.
Yeah, watching Leeane Poulson start things off, the 61-year-old, what a story. She's a former horse trainer and had a couple of good horses, including Athens, that came across the Tasman and ran placings to some very good gallopers. I'll give you some info on that a little later on. But she basically won a New Zealand singles title as a 56-year-old with only 3 years' experience. We hear all these stories about how the kids started with their dads and mums and uncles and aunts and brothers, etc., when they're 8, 9, 10, 11. She didn't start until she was in her 50s.
It points to natural ability, doesn't it? That's what I get from that. If you can be at that sort of skill level after 3 years, you've got a lot of natural talent.
And I think what's great about this sport is that it just shows that you can come into it at any age. I know we've talked about how some of the Aussie players came in at very young. Tayla Bruce started super young after watching Kelsey Cottrell at a World Championship. So it doesn't matter whether you start young or start later in life. There's opportunities for everyone in this sport.
I'll tell you what, whoever can nail this Jack first, the crowd is going to go nuts because they are waiting to cheer at the moment. Dawn Hayman looking to make a correction on her first. Just needs to run all the way now. Not quite going to. So a little bit of a nervy start there from the leaders. It doesn't surprise me that, because there's real tension in the crowd about this one.
Yeah, do you know what I love from sitting where we are? There's a real contrast. There's a black side and there's a yellow side.
Looks like Taylor's going to drop in front as well. So here's a chance for Lynsey to be the hero right from the start.
And it's safe to say the crowd will erupt. There's a lot of her family, a lot of her friends sitting out there today, which is great to see. And, of course, her 2 little tackers and her husband. So
a beautiful family they are. So Lynsey Clarke with her first bowl of this final. It's coming home nicely. That is what a start.
I think she's dying to give a little smile there, but trying to hold it in.
That is a decent first bowl, that is for sure. Great to see the kids have come out with their posters and all their decorations. And I don't expect Tayla to be far away with this. Singles champion from just last week. course, Carla, Tayla is a dual world champion at the moment.
She definitely is. Won the World Champs last year.
Yeah, who'd she beat in the final there, Carla?
She did get the better of the young Tayla. Yes, played her in the over at Dino Bowls Club in, just outside of Wellington.
Yeah. Lynsey Clarke in the area again. Well, that's two great openers from Lynsey. There we go, there's the kiddos. And I guess that would have been on a green, potentially running even a little bit faster than this one, was it?
Yeah, it was an interesting series. We had quite a bit of poor weather, so we chopped inside under the cover and then outside for games, then back inside, then back outside. Of course, that's typical of Wellington. For those who are locals there, know it's a very windy place. So, yeah, we played on a couple of different surfaces, but definitely their outside greens in New Zealand run very slick, so generally upwards of 16 seconds. So today's pace, it seems quite pacey out there. That's not going to phase Val and Leeane and Tayla. They're very used to that. They're very used to windy conditions. So far, our flags are quite flat here, but
looking for a result and finds it. That'll do for shot for New Zealand. When we talk about New Zealand bowls, you know, we often talk about two people, don't we? We talk about Joe Edwards and we talk about Val Smith.
Yeah, look, they've just, not saying they're old, but they have been around for quite a long time. And even me growing up was very aware of Joe Edwards and watching her play, and she was someone I idolised even as a competitor against her. Kelsey, Cottrell.
Oh, this is going to be great. If you play a good bowl in this match, you're going to get rewarded with, with crowd noise, that is for sure. Fantastic. Well, Val did the damage with just a little bit of weight with her first. Be back to draw weight now. So much experience.
Was here for a long time, wasn't she? Val, in Australia?
Yeah, Val's lived over here down in New South Wales for quite a few years, so definitely not unfamiliar to conditions in Australia. And of course, between Australia and New Zealand, we play each other at least once a year. So particularly over here, we played a number of Trans-Tasmans on these greens. So it's probably not the home ground advantage you would think for Australia. These girls really know Australia conditions as well as anybody.
Well, early in the match, it's a free shot now for Kelsey Cottrell. She drew it with her first. Just needs to come up with the same effort. Well, she's going to switch to the forehand to be on the safe side. Doesn't want to go near the jack. That's just to avoid nudging that jack down the line to the blue bowl. Now, will this get back? This side tends to hold a little bit more than the other side, but it is coming. I think it would have needed to fall over twice anyway, so...
Early advantage Australia. 1-0 after the first end. We're here by so many of our great friends supporting this telecast. Gigs to you for technology, setups, repairs and everything in between. You need a gig. Visit gigs2u.com.au and book your tech support today.
Listening to the teams talk before the match, I was interested to hear the New Zealanders in particular. Val was very clear on take a moment to enjoy the experience. I guess that's the experience of a player that's been here before and says we can take that moment to enjoy it. And I also noticed the Australians, they had the benefit of watching their teammates on the green yesterday as Dawn Hayman riding the zone. And they had noticed a couple of the intricacies of the rink, where it bends, where it doesn't perhaps bend so much. So valuable experience gained from watching yesterday.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that they had a bit of a discussion with the men's fours as well. The Aussie team is all one big team, so there's no doubt that they would have been having a chat to them. Donnie probably had a bit of a chat to Corey just about which hand he played on. And I'm sure Kelsey would have chatted to the backhand boys as well about, you know, the weighted shots, if it's holding anywhere in particular, and perhaps also things like where to place the mat. Is there any areas that are a bit firm on the green that you want to avoid? All those type of things they would have chatted to the boys about to get a little bit of info.
There's bowl for bowl at the moment from these two leaders. Dawn Hayman nails the front touch.
It's like it's a celebration of the 2 weeks as well, isn't it?
It feels that way. There's no doubt about it. Both teams come in with great records across the tournament. Australia exactly 100 shots up in the triples for their matches, and New Zealand 92 shots up. So both teams have been fairly dominant on their way through, albeit with a couple of close ones just to survive. And that happens in every tournament you play in. There are those big moments where you've just got to get through, and when you miss out, you don't find out what you would have missed out on. You know, you don't find out what would have happened.
Yep.
But if we had have won that, you know, we would have been world champions. So they just squeezed through.
Yeah, Carla mentioned that for the Aussies it was a semi-final. For the New Zealanders it was a quarter-final.
Yes, against
both
Malaysia.
1-point matches.
Yep.
That went right down to the wire.
Yeah, for New Zealand that tight one was against Malaysia, and for Australia it was against Ireland.
You get the inside edge of there and try to beat this bowl. If you get to the shot bowl, brilliant. But you try to get to that bowl.
Yeah, so just a nice, confident call from Val, giving Tayla a little bit of opportunity to overplay the draw, so gives herself a chance to arrive there. A couple options. It shows really the experience from Val to really make the call really clear, really obvious.
Extra track.
Something similar, Lenny. You're pretty well level.
Yeah, it was more about giving Tayla a zone to be in rather than anything too exact.
Slide up.
The early days on as well, when you're just trying to find the weight.
Lindsay's in the area again here.
She is.
Where's this chat going? What a shot. Brilliantly played. Lynsey Clarke.
Right at the moment she's planning on going out in a blaze of glory.
Yes. It has all sat alongside the jack, which will still have New Zealand tempted to reach that and land. Look for a trail, perhaps.
Over to you, world singles champion.
Just on a wideish line. Wants this to stay up at the back of the rink now to be useful, and certainly does in the shadow there.
Yeah, it's just stayed up. So not about home. Gives them the backest bowl. No one else is past the jack now. Now that Lindsay's trailed it that little bit. So it does give Val a little bit of an option there.
Yeah, I wonder whether we'll see Val switch to the backhand now that there's a bowl there waiting. We'll see. But Kelsey has first dibs here on the second end of the match. That'll just hold off
Right back then. Right back. Well done,
to the
Kelsey.
back of the rink and stay up, so it's handy. I feel like Val might be tempted to look up here backhand with a bit of weight.
Yeah, I think she will. Give her a chance. Even if she opens it up a little bit, makes it a bit easier for her last one. There's a few options there if she gets through those two.
There's even a sort of a clip off the shorter bowl there,
Yep.
which will sort of rattle and come straight down the line probably. So few options available, and backhand it is. Is it gonna hold on? No, just dropping under.
You might be better down here now, mate. Your draw to this won't keep your weight. Anything out there is good.
Mine is,
The one on the wing. Okay, yep, cool.
Oh, there you go. Kelsey looking to put the pressure on here, holding three, and says, well, I'll just draw another. If she gets it, we're only one down.
Absolutely, in early days, that pick up a number, get away early.
And those sorts of comments just put a little bit of pressure on the opposition as well. Just
Yeah,
a little
she was
bit.
a bit offhand. I'll just draw another one.
Yeah.
It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah. It shows the mindset that Kelsey's in, a nice confident mindset.
Come on, buddy.
She's looking good as well.
Just needs to get down. That's beautifully played.
Kelsey, Cottrell.
She knew what she wanted to do and she did it.
Well, this is wider. Now, split a few out, but it's still, I think, 3 to Australia.
3 to Australia, confirmed. 4-0. 2 ends gone. Decisive start by this team of Hayman, Clarke and Cottrell. Stay with us. It's going to be loud and it's going to be fantastic. This women's triples gold medal match here at the World Championships. The spectacular Broadbeach complex, and that's how close we are to the golden sands of the Gold Coast. Looking up towards Surfers Paradise and its famous skyline, the likes of SeaWorld and the many resorts further up that coast.
New Zealand looking to strike back here, holding a couple. Australia has a toucher in the ditch. Dawn Hayman just grazed the jack as she rolled past. Looks like this one might be making the ditch as well for Lynsey Clarke. Now, I did have a message through from former Australian Jackaroos coach Steve Glasson. Steve wants to pass a message on to Gary Willis, who's the current coach, to under no circumstances accept Lynsey Clarke's retirement after the way she started this match. So great to have the great man Glass watching on as this bowl from Tayla Bruce adds another to the count. Fantastic bowls from New Zealand.
That average couple of bowls there by Taylor, both hitting 1 foot.
Yeah, the world champ starting to find her range.
So Australia with Matt up and playing that, I wouldn't say short length, it's more a medium length, but certainly with the mat well up the green. But New Zealand have said, well, that's all right, we'll just drop 3 right on it.
Yeah, it was really obvious that they came in with a plan to play that. Dawn walked straight up on N2 and put the mat exactly where she knew was the plan. So I think they may have done that fairly often throughout the event, so they've obviously found that as their comfort zone.
Kelsey's going to cut it down. Is she going to cut it down to none? I believe she has. Great shot. Just precise draw shot there from Kelsey Cottrell, and then just needs it to drop over, and there it goes.
Saw some of the greatest male bowlers of our time yesterday, didn't we, in the men's final, the men's fours final? But boy, this is living up to the billing as well, isn't it?
Sure is. Yeah, look, these players, Kelsey, Val, Tayla now as well, Lynsey, like they've played so many games for their countries. They know how to play the big games. And I think the atmosphere here is just really adding to it. They're lifting for the spectators.
Now just remember, Australia's got a toucher in the ditch here, so if there's any sort of weight looking to remove that bowl and the jack goes into the ditch, Dawn Hayman does have a bowl waiting there. Looks like Val was more trying to just get down to it and rattle the jack down the line a little bit, just perhaps overplayed it a little bit for weight. Really doesn't want that much weight onto the jack, Carla. It's just going to go straight to the back of the rink.
Yeah, she really only needs a touch of the jack. She's got the 3 bowls there waiting. Enough to roll Kelsey's if she gets to it, but if she touches the jack, she doesn't want to go too far back.
What about the experience here? You mentioned the 647 appearances for Val when she overtook her great mate Joe Edwards for the record for New Zealand. We've got obviously Kelsey 500 plus, and we've got Lynsey in her 458 last.
Yeah, including this game, Australia's got 1,059 games experience here, and Dawn's only contributing 79 of those.
I'm glad you calculated that for us, Val.
So a little bit of pressure on Val now. She's not used to it, but after holding 3, Kelsey clawed it back and put one right beside the jack now. What can Val do to try and upset things here and just stop this run by Australia?
The ideal result is just a little land on Kelsey's bowl and then fall back on the jack. That's almost the perfect result here. The line looks better.
Val, get down.
It's still got to get down though. And much more in the zone, but
Back to Australia. Something out the 3 ends. It's 5-0. This wouldn't have been in the Kiwis' game plan.
once again we see Dawn heading up the rink with the mat.
Yeah, the early momentum's definitely with Australia here, with a couple of screamers played by Kelsey. Big shot in the second end with Lynsey trailing the jack. Just really feels like they've got a bit of a bounce in their step, the Aussie girls, early on in these first 3 ends.
Certainly one way of silencing the Kiwi crowd.
Well, Carla knows these girls well. You're picking the body language, aren't you? You can see the confidence.
Yeah, look, I probably haven't played with Dawnie as much. I've played with her sort of at national level a few times, but great shot, Dawnie. But yeah, with Kelsey, I've pretty much played my entire Australian career with her, and I did notice early on she sort of had a bit of speed in her walk, and I sort of do notice that when she's feeling really confident, she's straight up to the mat and to get her bowl down, she knows what she wants to do and she's feeling confident. She's struggling a little. She maybe takes a little bit more time walking up and down. And I mentioned Lynsey, she gets a bit bouncy. She just gets she's a super happy girl, and she gets a bit bouncy when she's going well. So I do feel like they've got quite a bit of confidence in them. I've played Tayla Bruce quite a few times. Can't read her. She's always so poised and so similar whether she's playing well or not. So
Barry Lester is down there, and as he has been right the way through the finals. Number 1, Barry, the atmosphere fantastic, packed stands and rowdy crowd. And number 2, conditions. Give us a read.
Thanks, Pat. Yeah, I just noticed with those 2 swinging weighted shots from Val Smith missing on the high side. Traditionally, that is the higher arcing side. Wow, it's very loud down here. So good. It's a great atmosphere, one of the best atmospheres I've ever seen. But just noticed with Val looking for that consistent wide arcing turn, usually off the ocean side, but it just wasn't there then. The breeze is slightly coming through the oval from a southwester direction, so it's just making that traditional wide side slightly narrower. And I feel that this side here that Leeane's playing on is probably the best side for New Zealand to pack the bowls in the head, as we saw Tayla played 2 beautiful shots on her forehand on that side of the rink. So with the last weighted shot of Val's, I might have saw a little bit more weight from Val, and I think we'll definitely see it at some stage of this match, knowing she's got that in her armoury. But early on, it's now a game of patience.
We talked about it yesterday as well, that 18 ends, it's a long game. There's plenty of time for New Zealand to settle in. Momentum changes lots of times throughout that 18 ends.
Taylor just cleaning the touch marks off from vast end.
A nice job to have to do, isn't it?
Yes.
What a 12 months, because she's also the singles world champion of champions.
Yes.
Thanks for reminding me, Pat.
We keep
She actually
saying
beat me, yeah. No, she played superb.
Come on, push back.
Well, that's a well-positioned ball. Another one in the area for New Zealand.
Just pass that one's good.
I was just looking at the scorelines. Last five out of the last 6 games they've played in this tournament, New Zealand's won by double figures. It just shows you how well they're going. They find themselves 5-0 behind in this one. Australia, their last 2 matches are basically their 2 closest matches. The quarterfinal win over South Africa by 7 and a 1-shot victory over Ireland in the semi-final. Well, Taylor on a more fighting line here. It's going to trickle through and stop in time. Beautiful. What a great adjustment that was, because you can see her previous bowl there on the right-hand side of your screen. Perfect weight. She kept the exact same weight and corrected the line.
Yeah, just it really only needed to be a bowl narrower. She's played it perfect.
It's a credit to the greenkeeper that the players can make those corrections as well. I say that often, that it's one thing for the players to judge the correction. It's another for the green to allow them to do so.
Yeah, it really seems like the players out there had the real confidence that they can do that. You know, if you're playing on a green with a few little tricks, Taylor might have been more accustomed to just try and play the same bowl, but she has that much faith in this green and how flat and smooth it is that she could make that adjustment. And there's been a lot of traffic on this green through the last 2 weeks, so
certainly has.
Holding it well.
Look at it, mate.
Kelsey just finds the gap there. Now, Val Smith will now go up here and try, and we'll talk about that little trail of the jack. She'll be looking to just tuck this jack away to some safety, narrow down that target for Kelsey. As Kelsey missed with the first, but with these sorts of targets, players don't like to have the opposition have 2 shots at it. So a little nudge round, just in between, if you can just land that jack in between the 2 blue bowls there, it'd be perfect.
Oh, plan B. We're good.
Plan B was cover the back.
Val actually hasn't really had a draw shot the last 2 ends. She had the 2 runners going this way last time, and then back the other direction she was playing weight as well. So this is the first end she sort of had those draw shots. So plan B ended up being okay for her.
Can feel that way when you've had a start where you are behind.
Like you get anything onto that.
You head up to the mat and you think, gee, I haven't played a draw shot since the roll-up.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So a little bit of decision-making here. Still feels like there's a nice landing area there on the back end, but what would be the concerns here, Carla, on the back end? Obviously, Kelsey doesn't necessarily want to play the same sort of weight, but it feels like just landing there, the Australian bowl can't go too far.
Yeah, I feel she may like a touch less weight, but there's not a great deal of danger. I think they're just looking maybe at there's a couple more options on the forehand. So I think Lynsey was just getting her down there just to have a look at the two options so that she can play it with confidence.
Come on, you get it.
So we'll find out the decision. Decision looks to be staying backhand. Probably wouldn't expect quite so much weight, but well, it is still pretty solid weight.
Hurry that line now. Hurry, Joey. Come on, Kel. Hurry, Joey. Hurry now. Hurry up.
Well, we've got the result. We've got a little bit of Jack as well.
So great chance here for Val just to add another one. We talked a lot about this yesterday, the chance, the free kicks kind of, the chance to add one without, there's no risk really here at all for her.
Well, she can afford to even nudge the Jack, so there needs to be no fear at all here. It's a big opportunity now for New Zealand to get their score going. I think regardless, you're going to hear a roar from the New Zealand crowd as they get on the board. Pushed it wide.
One for New Zealand. Four ends gone. It is 5-1. The Australians leading in this World Triples gold medal match here at Broadbeach.
How's the speed, bud? Go on, Dorney. Mate. Hurry in. Hurry back, Dorney. Hurry back. Right back, mate. Right back. Right back.
Another day of perfect conditions here on the sunny Gold Coast. The last day of the World Bowls Championships. We've got 2 finals to bring you. We're watching the World Gold Medal match for the women's triples. Australia v New Zealand. This, Tayla Bruce, the World Singles Champion.
Yep, freshly crowned from last week. Just going to crash into the front. Australia holding the 1 shot at the moment, courtesy of Dawn Hayman. Yes, and if you've been entertained so far, guarantee you the men's singles final will be entertainment plus as well, with 2 shot makers having made that final, Gary Kelly and Ryan Bester.
They play quickly too, Clive, you were telling me.
They play quickly, and generally sometimes they play their bowls fairly quickly as well in terms of driving, so that you might want to issue some helmets in the crowd.
I think there's why that's that big red board. It's more a safety board rather than for advertisements. It's more to protect whatever's behind it.
Absolutely.
They're looking at the 58-year-old Val Smith, been in the game for over 30 years.
An absolute star of the sport she is, Pat, no question. Interesting, I thought there might have been a temptation for her to chase a little bit underneath there, but still chose to try and draw the shot around. Knew she'd overdone it just a little bit as soon as it left, watching the body language.
Kelsey, Carla, I should say, am I being just a little critical? Does it look like Val is having trouble just finding her right weight at the moment, early in this match?
She hasn't quite settled in on the draw weight yet. And I did mention, like, she had a few runners early on, so sometimes that does make it a bit tricky to find the draw weight. And players do a roll-up, but it's surprising how quickly in the morning the pace of the green can change. The roll-up, you think, oh, I found it. Then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, the pace of the green's already changed as the sun's got a little bit higher. But like I mentioned earlier, 18 ends is a long time. Val will settle in. She'll find it. And that may be why she opted to draw this end. She might be wanting to just find that draw to settle into the game.
It's interesting how your line drives your weight as well. So players are very keen to be able to find the centre of the rink in terms of their line, and then weight comes after that. She's had trouble just nailing a perfect line, and then that messes with your head in terms of your weight as well.
So 1 for Australia with 1 bowl left. The Australian skip Kelsey Cottrell.
Well, it's Kelsey's turn to try and add with the last. Not an easy task. There's only really... She's going to need to be perfectly weighted to draw this. And she probably knew that, and as a result, she's just come up a little bit short. That can happen. 1 for Australia.
Take a 1, take a 6-1 lead. So it's decisive at the moment. We'd like to thank Right at Home, who not only sponsor the Jackaroos, but they're here as part of our telecast as well. Right at Home for quality in-home care and support. Call Right at Home on 1300 363 802.
So Australia's brought the mat up. We're going to have another of these medium-type lengths. I think next time New Zealand get the mat, Carla, they might need to think about a bit more of a drastic change of length, just to change this game up a little bit. I mean, they haven't been far out, but they're 6-1 down.
Yeah, their last end, they did put the mat in a different spot, but they played a similar length. So I think they will be looking to maybe go ditch to ditch, do something drastic different. You don't want to leave it too late in the game, so you want to make changes early on, experiment a little bit.
Nice start for Dawn Hayman.
Yeah, Dawn's found her range on this length.
Her first world titles, already owns a silver, thanks to the reaching the final of the fours, beaten by England last weekend, of course.
Yeah, had a great run there for a little while in singles play, did Dawn Hayman. I mean, just at the start of COVID, if you like, you know, she won 2 Australian champion titles in fine fashion.
Yes, I know.
Carla was there for those as well.
So we're really digging the knife in that twister, aren't we, this morning? You're losing your world triples crown. It's about to go in the next hour and a half.
I did, yes, also. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a silver medal. You're always happy to come away with a medal, but I did cop a silver medal from Dawnie as well at one of those Australian Championships.
I see she's got 6 medals at multi-nations events in 2019 and 2023. Tell us a little about those.
Yeah, look, the multi-nations events for me personally have been really great events that get all the countries sort of out to get experience on the greens where the next major will be. It's a great opportunity also for our players coming through the ranks, like the likes of Dawn, also me, before I sort of made any sort of major events. It gave you that experience at that international level. And then when you get here at a World Championships, you've already played for your country numerous times. We talked about how many games Dawn's already played, so I really love the multi-nation events and how it gives more countries more opportunities to get to Australia, to get to New Zealand, wherever the next major is, and get experience on those greens.
Tayla Bruce on the mat.
Yeah, shouldn't be far away with this. Needs it to just finish the journey. And she's done well.
Zoned in early on, Tayla. All her bowls have been in great areas, really backing up the lead well.
It feels like she's found that line, particularly on this backhand going this way. It is a slightly tighter line, and it looks like Taylor's really settled in on that line. Lynsey Clarke just going to catch a bit of the outside of the jack. That'll do.
I'll take that back, thank you.
As they say, you've only got to snick the jack and the rest goes with it. Tucks it away nicely.
Tayla looking to play the same line. And then needs just beat her last bowl.
She's in the area again. Look at this. Great shots.
This is what we saw yesterday. Whatever you can do, I can do better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the quality's breathtaking. It's great to watch.
Now, I think Australia will hang on to shot there, but there won't be an awful lot in it.
Two skips up, Kelsey Cottrell, Val Smith for New Zealand.
Kelsey didn't waste any time getting up there to play this one either.
Hurry, buddy.
And this is a similar line to where Tayla just came from.
Right, your track's really nice.
Just going to run out of steam.
A couple of feet.
Or you could change it down onto me.
A trained eye of yours, Clive, a shot for Australia?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so, just. And I think you'll find Val, we just saw the New Zealand team talk about rolling that bowl over. I think that's what Val will be looking to do on the forehand. Just try and get to that blue bowl, turn it over, or even slide off it. She might even get down to the Australian bowl. All about getting this into the area, and any contact on that front blue bowl will do New Zealand. Well, she's turned her back on this already.
Just a little out of sorts.
It's rhythm for me at the moment with Val. I mean, she's not far away there. The line was okay. Just didn't give it the push. She's potentially got in her own way for the next shot, but just looks like she's lacking rhythm.
Go, Joey.
Sometimes when you're just lacking a bit of rhythm, you tend to place the bowl rather than play through your delivery.
Come on, Kelsey, right in. Come on, Joey. Come on. Right back, right back, right back. Push that. Good, mate. Well done. Another third.
If anyone could talk a bowl into doing something, it would be Lynsey Clarke. She gives them a hell of a lot of directions.
Certainly finding the positive in that one, because really turning that bowl didn't make much difference. But look, let's clap it. Let's stay positive. Now just taking an extra moment. The previous bowl probably forces a bit more weight into this one.
This time the body language is a little better too.
And she's run into that own bowl of hers. Is that going to... well, the crowd's gone nuts, but I think this might still be, I say it carefully, maybe one to Australia. No, it's done enough. It's just rolled that out. And it's...
One to New Zealand.
Yes.
Suddenly, when they look to be going 7-1 down, they've clawed one back. Val Smith with the last bowl at the end. It's 6-2. And we're 1/3 match distance. 6 ends gone here at Broadbeach, the fabulous Gold Coast.
Track, Johnny. In you come. Come on. Right up. Right up, mate. As far as you can. Good starter, buddy. Good. Hold on, Johnny. Hold on, Johnny. Right under. Up, up, up. Well done, Johnny.
See just at the bottom left of your screen, Broadbeach Bowls Complex. That's how close we are to the surf. Just a couple of k's down the road from Surfers Paradise. Beautiful areas, chock full of restaurants, plenty of entertainment for the millions of visitors that come to the Gold Coast. As Lynsey Clarke earns the high five.
Yeah, Pat, we saw New Zealand just stretch the length out a little bit. Still not completely T-to-T, but certainly the longest end we've had of the match. But Dawn Hayman, whilst short with her first, gave it a little bump and pushed it right up onto the jack, and Australia sits in control of this head once again. Taylor's just going to drop short here, I think. Well, probably not so much the weight, it was more the line.
Colour, she seems very decisive, Kelsey, with the instructions. It's pretty clear what she wants. She makes her mind up quickly.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well, like Kelsey and Lynsey played a lot of games together, both for Australia but also at Australian Opens, for their state as well. So they know each other really well. So Kelsey will know straight away what kind of thing Lynsey's already thinking ahead as well. So the communication's pretty straight to the point, quick and easy with those two.
I think also the triples format allows that as well. I mean, mainly for the front two, it's a draw-based game, so there's not a lot of different shots to think your way through. It's only very occasionally that there'll be a head there that needs to be hit by the second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you add another player in and into a fours game, and suddenly the options become a whole lot more detailed.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden there's 4 more bowls on the green you've got to contend with.
Mm. Well, this is a big opportunity now for Australia. New Zealand haven't found this length at all.
Yeah, they opted for a longer length to try and change things up, but unfortunately it's sort of more fallen into Australia's hands at the moment.
Exactly right. This was their call, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I think they had to try something different. They're behind on the scoreboard. You want to try and change things up early on. You don't want the game to run away from you too early.
Well, this is at least 2 to Australia. I reckon they might even have a look at the front one at the moment as well. So Val Smith needs a close bowl here.
It's got to keep running.
Yeah, needs to clear the front and run. Well, that will have removed the front one out of any calculations. Still 2 to Australia.
The Australians holding 2. Can Kelsey Cottrell improve on that at the final bowl of this end?
She's played it well. Just needs it to pull up now, and does so with the aid of a teammate's bowl.
3 for Australia. Oh, now it is decisive. It's 9-2 after 7 ends. We're playing 18 ends, and we're here through Henselite. Be your best with the world's best bowls, and one of the world's best bowlers is working with us. Barry Lester is down there beside this very rowdy green.
Yeah, I've got Neil Dalrymple, the CEO of World Bowls. Neil, what an event it's been. Tell us a bit about some of the highlights and what's coming up next.
It's been a fabulous event, Barry, and it's been great to see some of the smaller countries be competitive. And I think that, look, the facility's outstanding, greens have been outstanding, weather outstanding. So a couple of big ticks there.
And what about bowls itself? We're seeing some new countries now, as you say, and what facilities are out there for them, and what are some of the planning that's going to go into trying to help these countries really develop?
Yeah, look, some of the countries, they're really small and they have basic facilities, so that's critical to their growth. And at the moment, a lot of them just roll out a piece of carpet, and that's their preparation, or they're on indoor cricket surfaces. So you've got to admire the resilience and the innovation that they manage to get their teams together. They get some preparation, and here they are at a World Championship.
Now, across your journey when you were CEO at Bowls Australia, you got to know the athletes very well, and we look at Lynsey there. She's about to play her last game for Australia. You've seen the development of Lynsey, and you've been to the World Champs so many times and Commonwealth Games. How proud of you as someone like Lynsey, an athlete that's done so much for her country?
No, she's fabulous, and what a great role model she is and she's contributing in so many ways to the sport, and obviously she's got a great coaching career ahead of her. So yeah, wish her very well for the future, and obviously in this match.
Now next week you shift your attention to Robina for the World Championship in singles, which Tayla Bruce won last year. Now, when does it start, and how many games and how many countries are involved?
Starts on Tuesday, Baz, and concludes this Saturday. So there's 33 countries participating, 32 men, 26 women, and look, we're planning a fabulous event. It's a singles event, so but a really great representation of countries from around the world. So expect, again, great weather. Club Robina are the hosts, so it should be a great week.
And people around the world, how can they tune in and watch some of the live action, Neil?
We're streaming we've got a session that it will be streamed every session. We have 4 sessions a day, finals, quarterfinals on Friday afternoon, semi-finals and gold medal matches next Saturday, all being streamed through the World Bowls Facebook and YouTube channel.
Now, I know you're working for World Bowls now, but do you lean some direction sometimes when the Aussies are out there playing?
No, I'm a bit like Switzerland, Barry. I'm very independent, so no bias at all.
Thanks for your time, and bad luck. Collingwood won't win the grand final.
We'll see, Barry. More chance in Melbourne.
Thanks, mate.
They're still alive. They're going better than a few others, Collingwood, right at the moment.
Nicely put. We'll see. Yes.
And
sneaky reminder for Carter in that.
Yeah, I thought that was nice of Barry just to bring that World Champion of Champions final up again.
You were probably just getting to that ball, even if you just passed now.
They can see pretty clearly that Australia are holding 3. This would be a real body blow. Australia to hit double figures before New Zealand hit 3.
Well, the key to the margin at the moment, Pat, we've had 5 ends that have been single scores, but Australia's had 2 threes thrown in there as well, and that's where the margins come from.
What can the world champion do about it?
She's played quite a few great bowls down here on this hand, on the backhand.
Just going to pass on the outside.
It's a great effort. Great weight, finishing a really good home.
Australia will be keen to get one back into that mix of blue bowls. Let Kelsey get this one away. I think, Barry, you've got some thoughts down there on what you've seen so far?
Yeah, just when you're looking at the lead roll in isolation, Clive, as we see Kelsey trying to cover some back bowls there. Nice home. Just looking at the lead roll in isolation, Leanne's been pretty solid. You can see her bowls out the back there, which have value, being around the tee. But I think with Dawn, she's got free rein on that on the ocean side at the moment. So sometimes, you could break your game down in over 18 ends into maybe 4 quarters or 2 halves and do a little self-assessment. And for Leeane right now, I think her self-assessment is she hasn't quite nailed it the last few ends, and Dawn has. So maybe it's just time to switch and maybe find the line yourself. And if you don't, maybe start nailing it, you might just hamper Dawn's ability, because, as I've said, Dawn's got free rein on that hand, and she hasn't been able to break her rhythm because, as we've seen with Val throughout this match, she's played a lot of forehand, backhand, weighted shots, draw shots, and you spoke about how important it is to get that rhythm, and Dawn, for me, is probably the best player of the match, and she's got free rein on that hand. So 2 things for me, either Leanne switches hand, or I think New Zealand could try to be a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Certainly the leaders can sometimes have that little battle as to which hand's going to be owned by who. And as Barry said, sometimes it's not about nailing it, but it's about making it more difficult for the opposition on that hand that they're playing well on.
Carla, this has just become a little nasty for New Zealand, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting away a little bit from them now. So I think also adding to that, changing how to lead, sometimes that changes how the bowls are falling. So then Val's played most of her bowls on the ocean side, and she's not really been able to find it at all yet. So maybe Leeane swapping and may change things up for Val as well to be able to get over onto that slightly tighter hand. But this is a really big end here. She'll be hoping to make a change in this head with her last bowl.
I thought she might use some weight here because New Zealand are all over the tee. Well, the jack doesn't go out. If that jack had been pushed out of bounds, New Zealand had a lot of bowls on the tee.
2 for Australia. The Aussies move into double figures. It's 11-2. It's dominant at the moment. We're 18 ends in. 18 ends for this women's triples gold medal match. We're at Broadbeach on the beautiful Gold Coast. And this is the final day of the World Bowls Championships. Our drone has been busy these last 2 weekends. Wonderful view of another perfect day here at Broadbeach. There it is, that the green set up in its TV format. Looks great. Those stands are full. The undercover stand to the right of screen. There's a sea of black for the Kiwi fans and of course green and gold for the Aussies, and they've been very vocal, although Australia, this Australian triples team doing their very best to shut the Kiwis up.
Yeah, there was a good view from above of the mat up and the jack up near the tee. It's pretty much the length that Australia's played all the way through the match, and it's been very successful so far. Carla, we were saying that the next 2 ends are really important, probably more for New Zealand than anything, but New Zealand's got to get the next couple of ends. If Australia get this margin out any further, it starts to be a long way back.
Yeah, they just really need to keep in touch with the scoreline here. So yeah, trying to win these next 2 ends keeps it within reach for them. If the Australians manage to get away with it, then yeah, it does start to look like a really big hill for them to climb, unfortunately.
There's a big opportunity here for Kelsey. They're looking. Interesting. I thought it would be a backhand shot looking to nudge the jack, but there was a bit of talk about forehand there, so we'll
Yeah, she can look to, just tuck the jack in as well on the forehand. I think that's what she's looking for. They've got their bowl out there on the wing as well that she can work in off. It's just a touch on the wider side. Just tuck it away makes it really hard for Val to get to it.
Come on, buddy. Come on, Joey. Come on, Kelsey. Come on, Kelsey.
Well,
Nicely. Nice. Well done, Joey.
that was beautifully played. Just nudges the jack to a very nice place on the green for Australia, holding at least 3 now. No, actually, looking at that, it may only be 2, but we'll. They'll certainly be looking for a 3rd, but Val Smith wants to do something about this first.
Starting to come back now.
Isn't it coming home? What a great shot. Didn't that get home late?
It did. It just, like, right towards the end, just started to drift in.
Just rewarded for perfect weight, really. It has still left its head sticking out a little bit, so...
Yeah, I think we'll be likely to see Kelsey play the backhand here, just looking to land that last bowl. Girls are having a good look. Must be in the area.
Oh, she's very close. What a shot. What a shot.
Kelsey, Cottrell, take a bow.
Just the perfect angle to chip it out. Oh, Val played a perfect bowl with the previous. Can she come up with something special again? Under all sorts of pressure here. Well, this is about where the last one came from. Needs to get all the way back. Wow.
It has.
Val Smith.
And that'll give her that little bit of confidence that she needs.
Absolutely.
2 perfect draw shots by Val.
Back-to-back beauties by the veteran.
Just when required.
It's 11-3 Australia at the halfway mark. I think after in excess of 1,200 games over the 2 weeks, there may be a few bowlers out there in need of physio-chem, and that's obviously why there's great sponsors here. Physio-chem, it's designed to keep you moving.
Just look at the difference in body language after Val played those 2 great bowls. You know, she's bounced her way back down the green, looks smiling and looks ready to go again.
Yeah, and she had a quick little chat to the girls as well there. She obviously had a plan of what length she wanted to tell them that they want to opt to, so chance to reset for them now. They've got the mat, playing the length they want.
Which is not a lot different, again, to the length we've seen, just with a different mat placement, different mat and jack placement, so... I mean, we did see them stretch out to a longer length and that didn't work, so no surprise to see them not do that again. Leeane very close for this. This is a great opener.
You could be right there too. But yes, this confidence is flowing back into the New Zealand
Sometimes
side.
that's what it takes. It takes someone to provide a bit of inspiration, you know, get the bounce back in the step.
It's such a contagious thing, isn't it?
It is.
That momentum. One of your teammates plays a phenomenal shot, then... Oh, great reply by Dawn Hayman. She doesn't want the momentum to change, obviously.
She's certainly come to play today, there's no doubt about it. She's pretty much had a bowl in there every end, at least one very close to the jack.
Chatting with Leeane just before play started, she's given up the horse training. Didn't have too many in the stable. Had a horse called Athens back around the Lonhro days, around second to Lonhro and Hobartville. So she's having a lot of fun. Look at this.
Look at that. All over it. New Zealand members of the crowd enjoying this as their team tries to fight back. Dawn, well, the hand movement suggests she thinks she's a little bit quick.
See Kelsey clapping that, really happy anyway. Passing the jack gives them options for Lynsey to have a little play, look to sort of trail the jack back to it. Even if she rolls Dawn's front one on her way down. Bowls behind always gives options for the team.
Yeah, for New Zealand now, they'd love nothing more than just to nudge this jack away a little bit. And Tayla come up with it. Wow, what a great shot. Well, it'll be interesting to see if there's any decision just to go big at this. I think there is.
I saw Kelsey straight away calling Lynsey to play a quick one.
This is wide. The idea here is straight through the Australian bowl, splits the two blues out, and probably then carries through and gets the other one as well. So all three of those New Zealand bowls can go.
Yep.
So whilst you're holding a good setup for New Zealand, there's no reason for them not to go near this. They probably do need to change it a little bit. I wonder whether the thought process will be go around the back, but looks like a pretty safe line. And that's okay, but
I think Balor's hoping for it to be right back, so
sort of left out.
Quite the plan.
Yeah, it's left out in the cold there. Oh, this is closer. Well, one stays.
And you can scarcely believe that so little effect came out of that.
Yeah.
It does happen. When bowls hit absolutely dead centre, they do stay. And this is, look at that angle you see there. It's almost dead centre that it stayed. It does change the angles a little bit. Probably not so much in Australia's favour. Just it's interesting to see how much that red bowl will do now if they continue to use weight. It could still get the both the blues.
(11-3) Australia. They've dominated so far. We're into the 10th end. 18 ends in the triples to be contested. This is the veteran. Val Smith, 58. A record 647 appearances for New Zealand when she played that. She overtook her mate Joe Edwards.
So that's a smart bowl, because what that does is it says, well, if you want to play weight and clip your own out, I'm gonna count with that.
Yeah.
And that's so without building a target, but still saying, well, there's punishment if you want to play weight and clip your own bowl out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very handy home. And Australia also, you know, you want to be caught. Dropping a couple is not the end of the world here.
Yeah.
If you do drop a number, you're giving New Zealand a chance to get back into the game. So
backhand for Kelsey might indicate weight.
yeah, it looks like her backhand runner.
This is
Way
tight.
smooth.
Got that back bowl of Val's.
Val's likely to be playing the same bowl. Put it back there.
So Australia will have a good look at this now and just assess the damage if they remove their own bowl. Well, keep going's the call from New Zealand, so that's going to get all the way to the tee. One worse off if their own bowl goes. I would see wait again.
Fabulous angle.
Closer this time. Look at this. Jack goes to the back of the rink. And then back bowl of Val secures one.
Well, they've minimised the damage. It'll be 11-4 to New Zealand. They pick up one there where 10 ends into an 18-end finals contest. This for the women's triples gold medal, the World Championships of 2023. Australia with a 7-shot lead. We will be back in just a moment.
Track, 1 yard, baby. Back.
Conditions have been ideal over the 2 weekends of finals. This is our last day. We've got the women's triples gold medal match unfolding now. Just past halfway. Australia lead 11-4. And the climax to 2 wonderful weeks of bowls here on the Gold Coast will be the men's singles final. Virtually straight away after this match.
How far over was my love? 1 yard. Okay. Right on the turn, you got shot.
Val just indicating to Tayla with her foot just where the jack is, just to give her a little bit of a guide. Tayla looking to correct. Dropping a yard. It's still anybody's end, this one. There's plenty of room for somebody to nail it. She's going to drop a bit short. So Lynsey Clarke's chance. Sometimes have these ends where no one can kind of quite nail it. It's sort of all falling around in a bit of a circle. So sort of the first one who can manage to get on top of it. We'll come down to the skips now. 2-bowl shootout.
So, Carla, tell us about tonight. How do they celebrate after 2 big weeks? I mean, they're 5-person teams, aren't they? So.
Yeah, well, it's even bigger this World Championships as well because we've got the para teams as well who played in week 1. So a lot of them have stuck around to support their teams over week 2. So, and we say 2 weeks, but it's even longer for these players. They've been prepping to get picked in the team for almost sort of 12, 18 months out. And then once the teams are picked, the months leading up, they've been training hard, working hard with their combinations. And then 2 weeks of heavy play, like it's a really big lead up. So it's safe to say that I think a few players might let their hair down a little bit tonight.
Of course, for the singles players, it's Champion of Champions next week, isn't it?
Yeah, so there are some players heading off as well for another event. So, they might have a little bit of sore feet.
Well, there's certainly an opening here.
Yeah, Linda's having a good look, trying to work out who's holding. It's a measure at the moment. Can Kelsey be the first one to get on top of the jack this end?
He's looking for this to start getting back now. Just going to carry past.
Good look at it, mate. Track straight.
Well, certainly enough room for both skippers to believe they would draw this shot. Just about getting that process right.
Well, seems a bit more confident with this one.
A little skip afterwards. It's out to a similar line of Kelsey's, but the weight's better. Look at this. Well, Val said at the start of this match that she wanted to take her time and enjoy herself. Despite being down 11-4, she still looks like she's enjoying herself.
Yeah.
Well, it's an even greater mountain to climb, isn't it? It's going to make victory taste even sweeter if they can achieve it. So they're holding at least one, New Zealand, and this is the last bowl of the end.
We'll know fairly on from Kelsey's body language. Doesn't look.
Well, she's tightened the line. That's where you hear them saying, hold the head up. She's finding the gap, I think. Wow.
There's a few oohs from the crowd there as it just slid past.
The question is it just the one, or do New Zealand sneak a 2 here? This will be 3 ends in a row for New Zealand. They're right in the match, there's no doubt about it. For Australia, just looking to win an end and get control back. Seven ends to play. If Australia can win 3 of those ends, they'll know that'll be enough.
Leeane Poulson on the mat. 61 years of age, so it came from a time, she said, when she was never allowed to touch Dad's bowls.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because in those days, he maintained it was a man's game.
Well, that has changed.
Dramatically.
We've seen some absolute stars on show over the last couple of weeks. And hasn't the World Championships been something special? I mean, we've seen it. We've seen the competition embrace the para side of the sport for the first time at a World Championships, and how successful has that been? I mean, just unbelievable, the show we put on last week. Now we've got the cream of men's and women's talent on show here in these finals.
Carla, exactly. Yesterday, the pairs, 4 women in their 20s, 4 20-somethings.
Yeah. 4 young whippersnippers. I remember those days. I think what's exciting about bowls as well is that they're in their 20s. They can still be playing their national team for 30, 40 more years.
Sure.
Can't you? There's not many. I don't know any other sport you can do that in.
There are certainly not many. I guess equestrian, where you can change your horse, I suppose.
Well, to that end, are you a little surprised with Lynsey Clarke's decision at 39?
Well, there's room for a comeback, isn't there, from the Lynsey Clarke? Might take a break, come back, you never know.
I think Lynsey's at that point where the kids are just at that age, and I guess, Carla, you can very much relate to that. That family time does become really important.
Yeah, it does. They grow up so quick, the little tackers, so you do want to spend as much time as you can. Lynsey's drawn a great shot right in front of the jack.
Brilliant.
She wants to go out with a bang. Her 458th and final appearance for Australia.
Now Tayla will be hoping just to crack a bit of an egg on that bowl, move the jack so they can get to it.
It's well pointed for line, but it doesn't have the journey. Yeah, and this is the thing, with the bowl so close to the jack, you can now almost predict exactly the line that the jack's going to move on. So covering that exact line becomes important.
Lynsey with her
putting a bowl in the range. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. This Lynsey with her final bowl of this end. We'll get down to Barry as the 2 skips, Kelsey Cottrell and Val Smith, head towards the mat.
Thanks, Pat. Yeah, well, the angles have just changed. I was interested to see what Val would do pre-Lynsey's last bowl, as bowl and jack lined up beautifully to go back. This now actually favours New Zealand a little bit more. Before this, bowl and jack were probably going to go back together in the same angle and probably go back to the back of the rink in the same spot. But now the bowl and jack are offline to each other, which means if the bowl was to be hit square, the bowl would go one way and the jack would go another. As I've had a close look, it looks like the jack should get out of bounds if Val does make contact, but then runs the risk. She removes her nearest bowl if she's high and is 2 down, with Kelsey having 2 to come. So for me, I think she'll play it at the smallest amount of weight possible, maybe 6 to 10 feet, just looking to play weight. If she connects on something, she can stay around the head.
Well, that's the weight she's got. Now, has she got some contact? Oh, that's well played. Val Smith, almost exactly the shot that Barry called. With that exact weight, just to do enough to turn that bowl over. It could have rolled a jack, it rolled to bowl. Claim shot for New Zealand. They've won 3 ends in a row. There's some momentum building.
Yes, similar weighted shot from Kelsey, looking to touch on the jack or land the bowl of Val's.
A little edge.
The bit of ooze from the crowd. They know that would have been a bit of a sneaky one.
You never want them that way, but you will take them.
Yes, when you taught me all about that over the last couple of weeks, that you don't acknowledge, but you don't rush to the score and say, no, take them.
Yeah, well, you put the hand up. If you get a lucky one, you put the hand up and you might say sorry or something along those lines. You're not really apologising. You're more acknowledging that you got a lucky one.
Sure.
It's similar in tennis when someone gets a bit of a nick of the as they go over and get a little drop over the net.
Yeah, a
bit of a lucky one.
If your hand on your heart, sorry, you wouldn't take it, would you? But you're just acknowledging I didn't quite get that one the way it was designed. There is that theory around that there is a bit of luck in bowls. I think at the highest level there's not actually as much luck involved. The real exact point of the game here, these players play very exact shots more often than not. You do still get the odd lucky result.
Yeah, and I think
certainly see a few lucky ones around club level. Certainly see a few lucky runs.
Bang bang off
those.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think the key to you can create your own luck as well. The more bowls you've got in the head, the more bowls you've got in areas, the more lucky you're going to get when the jack moves because you've got the bowls already in the good spots. So there is an element of creating luck for your team as well. I'm just having a good look at this one.
This is right in the zone for a bit of bowl first. Well, it's got the jack. How far's it gone? Yes, that'll do.
There was just exceptional weight there by Kelsey just to touch the jack and it to not go further than she wanted. New Zealand had a couple bowls waiting at the back, but she just played that really controlled weight.
Perfect, wasn't it?
Kelsey Cottrell picking the Kiwis' pocket. Australia go 12-5 up. We're 12 ends in, 18 ends to be played. We're here for Audica, the official hearing partner of Bowls Australia. Fabulous view from our drone showing just how close this Broadbeach Bowls complex is to the Golden Sands. That's Broadbeach, as you can see just out the back there, and of course to the north of that is Surfers Paradise, to the south Burleigh Heads, all the way down to Coolangatta Tweed.
Yes, it's a wonderful part of the world, isn't it, Pat? And perfect setting here for such a wonderful battle going on here. Kelsey with a big conversion on that previous end to get Australia ticking over on the scoreboard once more.
This is Tayla Bruce, the brand new world singles champion.
Just the wrong side of the bowl. It's a game of millimetres. That just catches a little bit more of that bowl. It falls the other way and would have counted.
Carl, I love the spirit that this whole event has been played on. I haven't, called a lot of bowls, but the spirit between the teams has been great.
Yeah, it is. And you notice from where we're standing, there's so many other countries sitting in the grandstands watching and supporting as well. I think just bowls has that way of bringing all people together, and yeah, it's great. Even walking around, I've seen lots of different countries, catching up with each other and sharing in the great atmosphere.
Yep, everyone's willing to say hello, aren't they? And,
yep.
Just sharing how special it feels. There's a bit of a shot of the crowd there, all the different colours and everyone wearing their team colours.
I have picked up conversations on the way back at the end of the day's play from some of the smaller nations, extreme jealousy of the conditions and the facilities that we have here.
Yeah, and we've talked a bit about how some of the other countries, they don't actually have full set-up greens like we do here. They manage to play on patches of mowed grass or, a rolled-out carpet. So we are very lucky in Australia, and I know the other countries really enjoy coming out here and getting the chance to play on these amazing greens.
Can you imagine for a second that your knowledge of bowls is... they would have seen plenty on the streaming services these days, but your knowledge of bowls is a rolled-out carpet and a gymnasium floor or something like that. As Kelsey tries to get all the way. Plenty of urging going on that bowl.
Does she take a shot?
It's very close.
You're the one who could work out these camera angles for me.
It's a bit close to call.
I was going to say, I feel like even the New Zealand girls there are having a really good look. A bit tricky for us from all the way up here. See if Tayla indicates to us. I think she said she fades down.
Well, I was just going to say, though, if you've only ever played bowls on a rolled-out carpet, you turn up here, you just must go, wow.
You're in heaven, aren't you? Huge complex.
And as you've alluded to several times, Pat, it's been a massive event, 44 countries, and it's no surprise that those countries want to get to the Gold Coast and have a taste of what it's all about.
Yep. They were challenged last week. We're in relatively cloistered surrounds here, but last week, Carla, the breeze was a lot heavier, and the sun, particularly on the Saturday afternoon, was beating down. They were lightning fast.
Yeah, and it does make it that bit challenging when there is that light breeze as well. Greens are fast. You'll notice like this head right now is really tight, but once you're adding that breeze, it can make bowls a bit looser and a bit more challenging to have the confidence that you can correct a foot or 2 foot like they are today.
Carla, do you think there's a discussion here going about removing the 2 red bowls? I think that's what this discussion will be about. That bowl that we think might be shot bowl, good contact on that could send the other Australian bowl out of the head and leave New Zealand with 4. It is last bowl of the end, so...
Yeah, and we're sort of getting closer to the pointy end where they need to start thinking about catching up on the scoreline. So if there's an opportunity to make a number, it might be worthwhile going for it now.
They've been in heavy consultation. It's taken a couple of minutes, this. One bowl to go. 12-5 there. The deficit is 7. And this is the last bowl
Now,
of
I know
the
it's a real
13th inning.
pain, but I think it's probably better on the backhand. Can't really make it much worse.
So Taylor's suggested to Val that it's backhand. I think forehand she might have liked because there is an exit path for a bowl. Backhand might be a little trickier for a bowl to get out of here, but backhand it is. With Wade looking to get the red bowls moving.
Can't Val. Get that right.
Edge and Jack, well that'll do. That was always an option. Has the Jack stayed in?
Just hoping it stays in. It has. It has stayed in. They just called one down.
Is it just the one, or are they looking for any more?
No, just the one.
Okay.
Might have gone a touch further.
One blue. That margin closes to 6. It's 12-6, 13 ends gone, 18 ends to be played. APIA proud sponsors here. They are the go-to insurance for retirees. Called 135050. Get set, go. Let's go straight down to Barry. He's got a special guest.
Thanks, Pat. Yeah, I'm with Karen Murphy, Australian assistant coach. And Kaz, we really want to get to know Lynsey, but in your eyes, you've spent so many years with Lynsey, both on and off the green. But let's talk about the first big win, 2006. Commonwealth Games, women's pairs, gold medal. How was that feeling, and how's it been just to see Lynsey grow from there?
Yeah, that was a wonderful time. You know, you make memories with people, and when you win things like that. So yeah, we had a great time in those days. In the Commonwealth Games, you only played one event, so it was two bowl pairs. So yeah, which was you know, a bit bizarre, but yeah, the feeling was awesome. And Lynn's came as a reserve to World Bowls in 2004 at Leamington. So that was probably her first trip. We roomed together for nearly a month, and yeah, just been great mates ever since.
Now, the nickname's Snoozy, or I guess it's because she loves to sleep. Did you actually nickname her that, or was it already, because you've been so loud and yelling out Snoozy over the years?
Oh, if it wasn't me, it was someone else, because everyone knows her fairly well. But no, she's got the kids now, so she's up a bit earlier. But yeah, no, she's got a few nicknames, but they're all clean.
Well, she's obviously out there playing her last game for Australia. You've done that fairly recently, you know, going through that whole retirement phase. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, she's feeling very excited to be out there, but what do you think she'll do over the next sort of couple of days just to try and reflect on her amazing career?
Yeah, well, it's such a special day, you know. I think, you know, she seemed pretty calm this morning, I have to say, but, you know, you've got to try and let the occasion not get to you, and she's got a job to do here. So, and I think she's really knuckled down. She's played well too, which means that she's probably focused on what she needs to be at the moment. But I've got no doubt when she finishes, she's got all the family, friends, clubmates, teammates, people that have, you know, spent special times with her over the years and supported her. After she finishes, it'll be, you know, like tears and snotters, absolutely. So she deserves every accolade that she gets, and not only has she been a wonderful player for Australia over many, many years, she's been a wonderful ambassador and role model for our next generation coming through, and she's one of our Pathways coaches, as you know, Baz, and she's lending her experience and knowledge to our younger players, which is great, giving back to the game, and that's the sort of person she is.
Thanks, Kaz, for your time and insight on Lynsey, and we're wishing Australia and New Zealand the best in this match, but we know who you're cheering for.
Very loudly, yes. There's a lot of the Aussies up here, so there's a few sayings and a bit of you know, bit of sort of supporting that got up here. But yeah, we would love to see the girls win today. It'd be pretty emotional, I think. Just to, you know, final event, Lynsey's last game, and a great event for the Aussies.
Well done, and thanks for your time again.
Thanks, Baz. Cheers.
Thanks, Barry. Cue Lynsey.
Yes. Just going to drift underneath. We've been blessed with an amazing Jackaroos team over decades, but the women's squad, which, I mean, you were part of, Carla, the record is just unbelievable over the last 10, 12 years.
Great ball by Tayla.
And Lynsey's been at the helm of that, hasn't she, in terms of providing guidance and providing lots of close bowls as well. But she's had a massive role in the success of the team.
Yeah, and like whilst I was involved in the squad, there's just been a really great culture of the experienced players like Lynsey and Karen really pushing and promoting the development players.
Great effort there, but still one to New Zealand.
It's almost been like the more they push the players coming through to get better, the better it makes them play. So it's just had that really positive culture for such a long time, which I think really adds to the success that the Australian women have had over the long years.
Well, Australia can win today. It gives us a split of nations right across the discipline. So we had Tayla from New Zealand in the singles, Malaysia in the pairs yesterday, and that thrilling final. England in the fours last weekend, of course, and if Australia win today. So it gives us New Zealand, Malaysia, Australia, England. I'm counting chickens, mind you, right at the moment. But
we've still got a few wins to go here, Pat. I think Val might try and have something to say about that. It's good to see, though, isn't it, that so many countries finishing on top, the competitive nature that everybody can have. You know, you come to this event and almost, you know, it's hard to pick what's going to happen when you're having so many countries being able to be successful.
Come on, Joey. Come on now.
Well, Kelsey's line's great here. Just going to go too far, is it? Well, it is close. Very, very close. You could see the bowl was just trying to pull up.
You're just drawing up to that. No change, really.
Flat bowl, maybe. Did we get an indication from Tayla as to what she thought then? I'm not sure we did.
Oh, I think she indicated she thought it was theirs. The marker on the green indicated a measure. Tayla was having a closer look.
What, this isn't far away either from Val Smith. What a great shot this is. Look at that. Oh, perfection.
Hasn't she found a range?
And she completely replicated exactly Kelsey's bowl to be able to just sit and nudge it out. So it's definitely two.
New Zealand have taken their game up a cog here, particularly, you know, Tayla was putting in some good bowls early. Her teammates have joined her now. Now, will Kelsey be looking at maybe the backhand here, look to split those two bowls? The only issue is if she catches a piece of jack and doesn't go with it, she could make it worse. It's blue all over on that side of the rink.
We're having a good chat about it.
So the backhand shot's good as she gets the outside blue first, because she'll probably get both the blues moving. It's whether she gets a piece of the jack, because if she gets a piece of the jack on that line, she's not coming through with it. The blue will go with it. Oh, and there is actually a short blue bowl, making that all the more difficult. Just blocking that line.
It limits the weight the options of weight that she can play to it. So
that might be a good thing. That actually might be well, she's going to go back to the forehand. Well, she played a perfect bowl forehand last time, so it's the thing. There's always so many options. She just looks a tad deep. Well.
Two.
That's the first multiple New Zealand scored in the match, Pat.
12-8. We're through 14. 18 ends to be played. It's starting to get tight. think just before we came on air, it might have been Karen that requested our music maestro here play Let Me Entertain You. And that's exactly what they've done, haven't they?
Yes, it's certainly one of Lynsey's favourites. But 5 out of the last 6 ends have gone the way of New Zealand.
Yeah, and they can get this in. If they get this in, then it's really game on for the last 3 ends. They've really fought their way back into it. We've mentioned so many times that the only time you need to be in front is after 18 ends. So
Leeane has certainly sharpened her game over the last few ends. There's no doubt about it.
So we said it's a fascinating story, it really is. She's 61 now. Won a New Zealand singles title as a 56-year-old with only 3 years' experience. It's amazing, isn't it? But given that we see so many of the kids now strutting their stuff, there's room in this sport for everyone. Dawn Hayman.
handy reply from Dawn.
Honestly, the crowd at the moment are hanging on every bowl, aren't they? There's cheers coming from the crowd. There's, you know, run a bit, stop.
A lot of directions coming from the crowd.
The crowd are absolutely into this.
Forward a little bit short.
We've got Baz down there. I'll just get his take on this leaders' battle.
Thanks, Clive. You could nearly turn the lights on down here. It's actually come over very dark. Those clouds are borderline rain. I don't think there's any rain predicted, but in my opinion, I believe that just even this last 10 or 15 minutes of... I was just sitting with Karen Murphy and Gary Willis. They all put their jackets on. Temperatures dropped maybe 1 or 2 degrees, and I've just put my hand on the grass, and it's actually cold. It's quite cool, and within a 10 to 15 minute spell, the grass can just slow up a touch. We see Leanne's last bowl there. It's good to see Leeane, though. She has switched to that wide side, and that's just created the, like you said earlier, Clive, that different cosmetic look to the head. But it'd be interesting to see if this this green does slow up much more as Tayla runs through. But yeah, the conditions really have changed down here. The wind's dropped a touch, and it's quite cool. So hopefully no rain on the way, but it'd be interesting to see if that sun comes back out and keeps the grass nice and warm.
A couple of locals here. Down to the southwest, the weather tends to come from. That's where the nasty stuff can come from as well. But look, it's cloud. We're certainly not seeing the pristine conditions of yesterday, but it has knocked a little bit out of the temperature here at Broadbeach. But right now, it's still very pleasant. We can't complain.
We certainly cannot. No, there is that little chill to it, but still a stunning day.
I think you two need to go down to Melbourne to see what a real chill is.
Yeah, we're in paradise.
I'm in my t-shirt. I think this is lovely.
Well, just a couple of bowls found out there for weight. Crucial end here for New Zealand. 4 ends to play, including this one. They've won 5 of the last 6. Well, looks like it's going to drop under a little. Can it get to the Australian bowl? No, it can't.
So New Zealand hang on to 1 still.
With only the skips left, Kelsey, Cottrell, Val Smith.
And Val's found her range a little bit more, so she can add another one to this. Well, we're in for a massive finish.
Australia's biggest lead was at the end of the 12th end, which is not all that long ago. It was 12-5. That 7 shots has been whittled away. It's now 12-8. Things tightening up.
We're at 7 ends each in the match. 14 ends played, 7 ends have been won each. It's just those multiples that Australia got that are the difference. Can New Zealand come back with their own multiples here? The line looks good. Needs some contact to slow down. Not quite.
Yes, this whole contest has slowed a little, hasn't it? It's become a lot more deliberate the last 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I see both teams taking their time on this, and I think both will be very aware of the importance of this end. Kelsey was just taking her time to get up to the mat, really thinking about it.
Well, the line's handy here from Kelsey. Well, she also gets a little edge and runs past. Very much the mirror image of Val's attempt.
Both of them really in the area, a centimetre difference, and they would have got the roll out of their own bowl that they were looking for. And instead you roll through. It's one of those games sometimes.
Well, Val will be drawing on all of her experience right now to come up with a big shot in the context of the match.
She's pretty easy to read.
Yeah,
she likes it, doesn't she?
The line is great. Look at
The
this
weight's
bowl.
good too. Gonna pull up.
What are you saying, Maestro? One or two?
That is that is close. It's rolled slightly further than they would have liked. I'd probably favour the two, but it's close.
Well, both Val and Kelsey have produced heroics through the finals campaign to drag their sides out of trouble.
On that angle, it probably looked more like it might only be one.
Let me just have a look at the second.
Well, Lynsey might tell us here. She's going to have a good look and find out. Sometimes the difference between one or two can really make a difference on the shot you want to play.
Pretty close just to being one, I think, mate.
Pretty close, but maybe only one. Okay.
Remind me, have I got 4? Yeah, that's 4.
I do like the Lynsey took the moment to count to 4 there and
just to make sure, yeah.
Okay, a bit of chat there with Beck Van Ash. Players are able to approach their coach.
So, Carla, what would your plan be here?
Look, I think almost the same shot that she played last time. She doesn't want to play too much weight and get half of a roll and go out. So just trying to give it a couple rolls. Like she's playing it a bit quicker.
Yeah, she's searching for the shot bowl here. And she's very close to it.
No, Jack,
Doesn't want the jack.
Oh.
Stood up.
It's hanging on, yeah.
That is spectacular from the Australian Kelsey Cottrell. Let's wait for the verdict.
Key here was that blue bowl didn't want the jack. A little nudge of the jack herself was okay. And it is 1 to Australia.
And it's 13-8 to Australia through 15 ends, 3 ends to play. We're here for Drink Wise, where you won't miss a moment if you drink Wise.
Start here, Donnie. Come on, all you got now. All you got. Play 2 down here, bud.
Have a look back. Just on another good second. Tighten it up.
We're right in the heart of Broadbeach. That, Clive, is some reasonably expensive real estate we're looking at there.
Yeah, stunning, isn't it? And great to get those overhead shots. Right now, Leeane Poulson's done the job with her first bowl, got right in behind the jack. And basically we're now in a situation where New Zealand needs to win every end from here. And what a shot this is. Doesn't want to... it's a great bowl, but it has just opened things up a little bit.
That's Tayla Bruce, our world champion. This is Lynsey Clarke, just on screen moments ago, who's in her final match for Australia, her 458th and last.
And Lynsey is about to try and chase the jack right into the ditch here. That was the call.
You're down there again, mate. But I think you're going to just try and change it up a bit. Get to yours. If you get to sit the red, it's fine. If you're under and trail a jack through yourself, all good.
Yeah, so a little change. Just at the moment it's sitting fairly invitingly for Australia. Lots of options.
Options are good.
Isn't it great that you can take the time to have a little chuckle at this stage of a gold medal match for a world championship?
Just wait, really, mate.
Just a little too much pace for the world champion, the world singles champion.
So
Barry,
sorry.
Barry, you're down there, and this is it's gripping now, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to sort of mean to be pedantic, but Val really didn't indicate what kind of weight that she wanted from Tayla then. She sort of indicated the shot to arrive, turn the blue bowl up or sit the red, but not with the exact weight. So that gave Tayla the freedom to sort of play weight she felt comfortable with, but the priority then was to make sure she had the backest bowl if she missed everything. So the key to this shot for New Zealand is to really concentrate on the contingency.
Is it stayed in or not? Looks like it's right on the peg. Marcus just moving the drink bottles. Yeah, it looks like it's just in.
Yep, there's no question on that by the look of it. So, and that's where that's exactly what Barry was talking about having some representation back there.
They scatter before they cheer.
So now, one of the skills of the game, draw to the edge of the ditch. This is something that the players do a lot of drills about in terms of trying to draw to the edge of the ditch.
So again, for the uninitiated, the jack is still in play.
Yep, jack's still in play. Bowl must finish inbounds on the green to count.
Good do you feel with your first?
Not a bad sider for Val, her first one. It gives her something to try and beat with her next. The shot bowl's in the ditch. That's Kelsey's toucher in the ditch there. About a yard away. So there's still room to draw another one. It's just trying to make sure you get your bowl inbounds and also stay on the green.
Yes. For Val, it's going to be one she must draw. So Kelsey will look to make this as hard as she can, because Val really must draw and score for New Zealand on this end. Otherwise, it's going to be at least 6 that they're chasing off the last 2 ends.
Val will get the last bowl. And after these 2 bowls, we've got 2 ends remaining. We've been going 2 1/4 hours as well.
Mate. Come on. I don't mind it.
Come on, mate. There you go.
So the players are liking it. Is it going to pull up?
Mate. First one was good.
Oh.
So here we go.
It was a bit of a tricky one for Cal. She wanted to make sure she didn't nudge Val's first one in for shots, so she was on the wider side, just playing it safe. Meant that forced Val into playing the shot herself. Chicken
for not wanting to go near it. Yep. Well, Val's got a good rangefinder with her first. Can she just make the slight adjustment required here and keep New Zealand well and truly in the match?
Wow.
She just needs it to pull up now. Needs it to stop. Oh. Just trickles in. Wow.
That's heartbreaking for the New Zealand veteran. Home.com.au.
We have talked about a few must-win ends for New Zealand. This is definitely the must-end win. The game's over for them if they can't get on the scoreboard on this end. Only 6 bowls for each team, so that's the max count you can get per end.
Well, can Dawn find a great start here? She find the jack. Just under it. So, look, the maths is pretty simple for New Zealand. They'll be looking for 3 shots on this end. Clearly, they must win the end to keep the match going, but to have a realistic chance, they'll be looking for 3 shots here.
The reason for that, obviously, is there's only 6 shots maximum available per end.
Yeah, and whilst we do see the odd 5 in triples, it does happen.
Yeah.
Very, very hard for that to happen on demand, you know, when you actually need it. Very, very hard.
And I think in these really favourable conditions, it's harder to get numbers. When we get games where there's, you know, a bit of breeze blowing and things can happen, then sometimes a random number will pop up, but you wouldn't think that the Aussies are not going to be able to get a bowl in there with these really kind conditions today.
Other side of the jack for Dawn Hayman. No, well, I mean, and realistically, New Zealand scored only 1 multiple in the entire match. They need to find 2 of them now.
Leeane Poulson, 61-year-old, former horse trainer. Playing at this level to make her kids proud.
Well, Lynsey Clarke will be hoping that she's about to play the last 2 bowls of her Jackaroos career right here.
I don't think she'll mind if she doesn't get to play the 4.
Yeah.
Needs to hurry up there a little bit. Gonna be the shot.
They know they're a knowledgeable crowd. They know what it's at stake in this end. The world champion to the mat, Tayla Bruce.
Just needs it to pull up, just going a little. Well, the opportunity's there for Lynsey Clarke to nail this jack now.
I mean, any little extra, you finish this half.
Carla Krasanik perhaps hoping her title reign can remain one more end, or are you happy to give it away now?
Look, like I said, I got extra 3 years out of it. I didn't anticipate, so.
That's a well-positioned bowl by Lynsey.
She was the Australian Junior Champion in 2000. What a career she's had, Lynsey Clarke.
Had the pleasure of seeing her come through. Just a wonderful... We've talked a lot about her role as an ambassador in the sport as well. She's brilliant.
Tayla just sliding a little further than she would have hoped. So it's over to the skips. Both have produced their own heroics in this match so far. Val Smith for New Zealand. Prolific medal winner at Worlds, Commonwealth Games, 7 national titles. And this young lady, the prodigy.
There you, mate. Here you come now. Right back. Right back in. Right back, Kelsey. Drop in. Any drop.
Just looking to get back and make sure there's no number at the back of the rink there for New Zealand. So the Australians are in management mode here at the moment, just making sure that New Zealand doesn't have any opportunity to get anything more than potentially one, maybe a couple. I think New Zealand will be very clear in their knowledge that one really isn't enough here.
Yeah, I don't think maybe the only option is to try and get it to those 2 back bowls.
Just to trail down the line?
Trail it to those. A 2 or a 3. Keeps her alive. She's got 2 goes at it, Val. It's all about getting the jack on the right angle so it just heads straight down the line to finish in between the 2 blue bowls there. It's not a shot you'd usually play. But obviously when you're trying to make a number, you've got to look for those options.
Absolutely. She's looking forehand. Now looking to remove a couple of Australian bowls here, I think. Try and open up some options. Well,
Get to the tees, good too.
I think, look, Australia just needs another close bowl here. There is the potential for those 2 Australian bowls to go out. So just another close bowl required. Baz, what sort of angle you got on this?
Yeah, it's a very tricky shot. It's a shot you don't want to have to play very often, but I think Val might even be looking to get the jack into the ditch and remove the back bowl of Kelsey's.
Ah, yes.
So forehand, solid weight, play straight at the jack and kick off and remove the back bowl. If it stays in, she can make 3, but I can't quite make out, even though I'm very close, Clive, who's actually got the tee. I think I favour Dawn's bowl at where you're looking at it at 9 o'clock. So as you see Tayla just having a look there, so that's that contingency and that risk assessment the players go through. Just that view of the head, just to see jack left, jack right, jack back. But now with Kelsey having the double back bowls, I think the only option now for Val is dead draw, or if she's very, very confident, front red through the other red for 4 shots.
That's the one. That's the one I see. I think that's the shot she's got to play. You get the right contact. And it can happen 2 ways. It can happen red through to red, or it could happen that she gets the red and then follows through with her own bowl and gets the other red. You do have to become inventive when you need numbers at the end of a match.
Yeah.
The nudging of the jack down the line is still there if she wants to play that.
Team New Zealand has made its decision. And the veteran Val Smith, the skip, goes back to see if she can now execute something to keep this alive.
New Zealand must have shot when these come to rest. Otherwise, it's gold for Australia.
taking a peek.
Has she got the jack? She has. Is it enough for shot?
Looks like it might be one. It is.
It is. We continue. your reign continues for another end colour.
14-9 through 17. Is there no end to the theatrics that this triples gold medal match produces?
Now you need 5 shots. The temptation is to keep the jack away from the ditch, but also you know that on a longer end's probably your bigger chance to get a number. So it's a bit of a catch-22 in that sense.
I think they've gone sort of the best of both worlds here by trying to play a 3. Oh, it looks like it's going to go to the tee, is it?
Yeah, which, look, it's not ideal, but sometimes a long end just gives you a few more gaps in the head and things like that, and you can squeeze a number. First bowl really important here for Leeane Poulson. Must get to the jack.
Or just past. And we saw yesterday Malta trying to make a 6 on their last stand and kept us pretty excited there for a little while. They were holding 4 for a bit until the Malaysian skip was able to drive and take a couple of their bowls out. This is handy start.
Clive, you've been keeping tabs. I mean, as far as winning of ends goes, there's nothing much in it, is it, through 17 ends? It's just that the Australians have grabbed those couple of multiples.
No, it's Australia 9 ends to New Zealand's 8. But as you say, Australia's had 3 multiple collects as Dawn gets into a very nice home there. Australia's had the 3 multiple collects, whereas New Zealand's just had the 1, and that's your margin right there, 5 shots.
We're coming out to 2.5 hours into this final. New Zealand need 5 shots on this end to keep it alive.
Just important that Leeane doesn't overdo any correction here.
She's played it pretty well.
She has. That's a good bowl. The New Zealand teammates watching on. They'll know a near miracle is required here, but a miracle can only happen if you let it happen. Dawn Hayman.
Dawn Hayman.
She played such a solid game in the Leeds role.
As far as appearances, she's the baby of this Australian side. Hasn't cracked triple figures yet.
Look, there's nowhere to hide in triples, you know, and she's just played a really solid game up front. All 3 players must contribute in triples. Well, a bit of contact there keeps it on the green. I think that one might have been heading for sand otherwise.
A little bit of help from Leeane holding her up.
Now it's a simple task for Lynsey Clarke in a sense. She just must get past the jack here. You'd see Kelsey indicating getting a bowl to the back of the rink. I think this is just going to go too far.
Turning the shot ball over, that's not.
So at least in New Zealand's favour now is they're looking to trail the jack in the same area as where their bowls need to land.
Yeah.
So it's a natural shot at least.
The key is, even if she doesn't get this, Tayla, is just to have good weight so she finishes in that same sort of area.
This is actually a similar task to what faced Connie Rickson yesterday.
It is that trail off to that side.
She's not far away. Now must stop.
It's just gone in.
Well, 5's the maximum now. And now just brings in that factor that if Australia want to attack, they only need to remove 1 more blue bowl and the game will be over.
Kelsey sends down her last, or most likely her last bowl for Australia.
In her 458th and final appearance for her country. Is she going to make it 2 World Triples champion? She won one in 2012 in Adelaide.
Well, the likelihood is yes. However, Val has an opportunity. Such a challenging shot here because she must get that jack moving, but she can't overplay it and end up in the ditch. With that jack right up on the tee. Weight's so important here. This isn't out there, so this is going to drop across. Now, she doesn't get past. Well, that is going to. That's going to pretty much end the match.
Yeah, there's no option really now for a 5, so.
Lynsey Clarke is going to go out in the most amazing of fashions.
You couldn't think of a better way to go out, could you? Last game, gold medal.
That's after surviving that desperately tight semi-final against Ireland, so she may have thought at some stage, oh, is it over here? No, it's not. Kelsey Cottrell.
All the way back. Right in, buddy. Good here, mate. Right in, Joey. Rock solid.
So New Zealand are in for a miracle here, trying to work out how to get Val's last bowl up in there, as well as the bowl she's bowling. So, I mean, we'll clap at and we'll cheer, but it looks a bit tricky.
Look, she has to run one up into the blue bowl, into her own blue bowl, and then just see what happens. But look, I'm loath to call something impossible, but I think this is impossible.
She's got a bit of a smile on her face down there, Val, as well, having a giggle as she goes up.
I hope she said to her teammates, if I get this, I want to clap.
They jumped out to a 5-0 lead, Australia, after 3 ends, and it's been pretty much catch-up bowls for New Zealand ever since. It's become, you would think, a task too far.
It's highly likely Kelsey Cottrell will not play her final bowl. This is the final bowl of the match.
Well, we're standing here in the commentary area in anticipation.
No contact.
Team Australia in the World Triples go back to back to back.
They take a moment to respect the opposition, shake hands, and now they go for it.
What a farewell for Lynsey Clarke. It's got a golden tinge to it. The immediate past World Triples champion is standing no more than 1.5 meters from me, and I think she's got a little tear in the eye.
Yeah.
Tayla?
No, it's just so great to see. I'm so thrilled for the girls. I know how hard they work for it, and to see Lynsey go out with a gold medal, it's just special.
It gives us an even split through the women's events here. Tayla Bruce, New Zealand in the singles, Malaysia in the pairs, Australia in the triples, England in the fours. And finish it with an Australian victory. Barriers there with 3 very excited ladies.
Lots of tears, and so they should be. Dawnie Hayman, you're a world champion. How are you feeling right now?
I can't believe it. This is what I play for. I'm so excited. The girls have been awesome all week, and I couldn't rather be with anyone else to do this with. So, yeah.
Kelsey, what a match. Massive conversions, doing it for your 2 buddies, but we know you've got a huge history with Lynsey. How are you feeling?
I don't know, I feel really emotional. I feel like I just need to go and just relax. This has been an epic 18 ends of bowls. Just awesome performance from these girls. They put so much pressure on the Kiwis from the start, and And they gave me a bit of an armchair ride, so I'm super excited about that. Just had to play a couple of good ones, and yeah, just excited for these girls. Excited for Dawnie. I've played so much with Dawnie, and I knew from the first moment I saw her she was going to be a star. And my good buddy Leeane has won everything possible, and it's so the best thing ever. Like, the universe is just like, you know, giving Leeane this amazing send-off. It's brilliant.
Well, you had to wait. You know, you didn't quite get it last week, and we'll get to you finally, Lynsey, but we'll talk about the girls here. You had to wait another week, didn't quite get the reward the first week. What was the plan just to settle into the second discipline? We'll start with you, Dawnie.
Yeah, I think we took a lot of positives out of the final. It might not have went our way, but we reset. We had a day off in between, so we reset. We started really well in the sectional play, and we carried it on all the way through.
And Kelsey, what about that? You know, so close to getting that gold, to, you know, obviously start off the tournament very well, but that resilience and that teamwork surely put you in good stead leading into this final today.
Oh, absolutely. Look, it's disappointing when you walk away with silver. You feel like it's, you know, obviously it's a loss in that last game, but at the end of the day, it's a silver medal, and it's a good feeling going in the second week when you've got one in the bag, and you don't feel like you're going to walk away with nothing. You can just go hard in that second week and go hard for gold.
And girls, you're both greats in your own right, but you've just played alongside a great who's about to retire. How about a shout out for Lynsey, Dawnie?
Yeah, Lynsey, what an amazing career. You deserve this so much, and we're so proud of everything that you've done.
Yeah, just she's brilliant. I mean, from the moment I played for Australia, Lynsey was there for me. She really took me under her wing and has been my best mate from day one, really, and I've just enjoyed every minute of playing with Lyns.
Lynsey, I don't have any tissues on me, but I know you're feeling just overawed right now, but for the best of your ability, please just tell us how you are feeling.
Oh, I'm not sure, Baz. I think, hey kids, my kiddies, my family. I was just, I've been around a long time, Baz, so I just wanted to hold it together, kept everything in there until the game was finished. I thought almost up that end. Just like a bit of a fairy tale. I've just had a dream career for Australia, playing for your country. There's nothing like it. I'm going to miss it incredibly, but I've got these beautiful family and kids here to look after me, and being involved as a coach, I'm not going to lose the Jackaroos family completely, but I'm just so proud to have won that world title with Kelsey, my best mate, like she said, and Dawnie, rock solid. My last world title and her first. She's got a huge future, so...
And what about that young girl, you know, so many years ago, Lynsey Armitage, now Lynsey Clarke. Let's look at some vision. Did you ever think on those greens at Helensvale 20 plus years ago you'd be walking away with all these big titles and your last game being a world title?
Not at all, Baz. When I started, like everyone, I love the sport, you know. It's given me so much. I've had so much success, made so many great friends, great memories, and I've just been surrounded by amazing people, like, you know, the Jackaroos family, there's nothing like it. And yeah, playing for your country, it's amazing. So yeah, pretty cool. There's a lot of highlights. There's been some down times as well, but an emotional roller coaster and worth every minute.
Yeah, as you look at the footage there, you've done everything in the game. It must, I'm actually getting a bit choked up myself because I've been on the journey with you, but you must be just so proud, and all the teammates you met. And what about the opposition as well? Shout out to New Zealand today and everyone you've played against across your journey.
Yeah, look, I think it was quite fitting, Baz, that we finished playing against New Zealand. We've played them so many times. I think I debuted alongside Val Smith in her debut, so yeah, it was a pretty cool finish. There are local rivals, I guess, across the ditch, but yeah, good friends as well off it, so really proud of them as well.
There's someone pretty special behind you. Who's that?
Mum, I got to say a huge thanks to my amazing family. They've been with me every step of the way, and since having kids myself, yeah, been a huge support network. So yeah, Mum, Dad up there, he's very proud. So yeah, good.
Well, this one's for Gordo, of course, but Lynsey, there's only one thing left to do, and that is sign off. Lynsey Clarke, congratulations. Enjoy retirement. Thanks so much, Lynsey.
That's special. I've got the immediate past world triples champion standing right beside me, and I don't think I'm letting too many secrets out if I can tell you that she's had the tissues out as well.
The idea, I went straight to the bag and got the tissues. No, so excited for Lyns to finish on this way, and the girls. Dawnie, first world title, so deserving. She's been a stellar player for so long, fighting to get into the team. To see that happen for her is awesome.
for both of you, I mean, we see, and we've said it a few times, so 450th and last. So 450 appearances for her country means she spent a lot of time with these teammates.
Yeah, she's a leader, and she's a very natural leader, a wonderful ambassador for our sport, and, you know, she just flat out, she's just one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, Carla, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. And to play with her, it doesn't matter whether Lynsey's having her best game ever or worst game ever. She always gives the same amount of energy and support to her teammates. She's been just so unique in the way that she can still continue to give stuff to the team no matter what her bowls are actually doing. She just has a way of supporting, cheering, bringing you all in and making everyone feel valued and supported. And I guess that's why we're seeing her now transition into that coaching role in Australian development teams. And she just has a real way of making players feel valuable and important in the team.
So proud of her family as well. You see the family there; they're just a beautiful family. And yeah, it's she's someone that you know, she gets the giggles, and she's infectious in that sense as well. But what a display that they put on there, and you know, congratulations to New Zealand as well, a silver medal. No, it's not. Silver medal's never what you're looking for, but I'm sure that they sense the moment as well, and whilst they wanted to win, I'm sure they don't deny Lynsey Clarke a wonderful finish to her career.
It was the ideal start for the Aussies. They raced out to a 5-0 lead after just 3 ends, and they held the whip hand there and basically put them away beautifully. 15-9 final score. It gives Lynsey the farewell that she deserves, and she does it in front of her home crowd. The noise today was just, it was all-consuming here in this wonderful TV arena for the last day of the World Bowls Championships. It's not done yet. We've still got the men's singles, the Blue Riband, one of the Blue Riband events of this title. We've got Gary Kelly from Ireland, we've got Ryan Bester from Canada, but both of them very well known in this country.
It is going to be action-packed, that singles match. There will be big shots played all over. Don't go far away, because that is going to be one to watch.
Exactly right. Stay with us. There's more action to come from the World Bowls title. We're right here at Broadbeach. We are about to hit a fantastic climax.
Oh my gosh, what an emotional. I was like so held everything tight and then We've got it for you, mate. We did it for you. My last job first team, mate. Oh, I can't believe it. Rock solid the whole time, mate. Rock solid. Oh my god. Where's my flag?
Enjoy these scenes. Wonderful moment for Australian sport here at Broadbeach. Almost this afternoon. We were out there for a long time. We were out there for about 2.5 hours. And the two great Australian Jackaroos standing beside me here. Both had tears, didn't she?
Yeah, look, I couldn't really hold them back there, sorry. It was just great to see for the girls, but obviously very special for Lynsey. Last game for Australia to go out with a gold medal, that's absolutely dreamful.
Wonderful interview.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, really. I remember Lynsey coming into the Australian Jackaroos environment so many years ago. This young girl, big smile on her face, bubbly attitude, and it was hard for me in the end. I must admit, Pat and Carla got a bit choked up, but just knowing her family very well and knowing the journey she's been on. But yeah, credit to her and credit to the girls to hold off a rampage at New Zealand in the end.
Yeah, drink-wise moment of the match. There could be many that fit into this category.
Yeah, look, there were so many moments during this match, but this one in particular, this is end 15. It's a shot from Kelsey Cottrell. This is when New Zealand was making their comeback, and here she goes. She plays an absolutely outstanding shot. This really sold it for them. New Zealand has strung quite a few together, so great shot by Kelsey just to really hold it in for the Aussies.
To be fair, they all contributed though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dawn Hayman, absolutely brilliant up front,
Yep.
right from the first end. She was really solid. Always had at least one bowl, if not two, in there, and Lynsey did her thing.
Let's get to our right-at-home analyser now.
Yeah, the right-at-home analyser. I've chosen this. This is only the second end, Kelsey Cottrell. Lynsey talked to her about playing a bowl to the back, and Kelsey said, no, I'm going to draw another. She really showed the confidence right from the get-go that she was going to play this game. That's how she wanted to play, with confidence, back herself in, and she did brilliant right through the game.
As I said, Barry, the highlights from this game, it kept us just engaged from the opening bowl.
It had a bit of everything. We saw right near the end there, Pat, Val Smith just falling into the ditch to try and get the shot and stay alive. But all the shots were played throughout the match and over different distances. And one thing I noticed throughout the middle of the game, also Leeane there switching hands to try and to go with that mighty play of Dawn Hayman up front. But this game had it all, but Kelsey Cottrell, some massive conversions early to create that scoreboard pressure for me was a big difference in the match.
Carla, I know you'd love to see the Jackaroos sweep everything, but I tell you what, is it not good for world bowls when we have the four disciplines shared amongst four nations?
Oh, yeah, it's been brilliant, hasn't it, to see the 4 gold medals go to 4 different countries. Obviously, I'm Australian. I like Australians winning, but it's so good for the sport to see so many nations being competitive at this level.
Just looking at some of these wonderful highlights, it was precision plus right the way through the afternoon.
Yeah, Dawn Hayman there, Carla, like you've drawn so much, played so much front end yourself. Amazing front end draw shots there, but that conversion play from Kelsey was amazing. Please welcome back onto the Broadbeach Bowls Green, the 2023 World Bowls Championship Women's Triples Bronze, Silver and Gold medalists. Firstly, to the 2023 World Bowls Championship Women's Triples Bronze medalists, please congratulate Canada. Joanna Cooper, Bailey Van Stein and Emma Boyd. From Ireland, Sophie McIntyre, Shauna O'Neill and Chloe Wilson. Now for the 2023 World Bowls Championship Women's Triples Silver medalist. Please congratulate from New Zealand, Leeane, Poulson, Tayla Bruce and Val Smith. Now to the 2023 Women's Triples World Champions and Gold medalists, please congratulate Australia.
Dawn Hayman, Lynsey Clarke and Kelsey Cottrell. If you are able, please be upstanding for the playing of the national anthem of our gold medal winning women's triples team.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. With golden soil and wealth of toil, our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage of birds Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing of birds Australia
Thank you, women's triples players. You may now exit the rink. Please give another massive round of applause for our women's triples champions.
So we saw a wonderful day today, but I think probably if you're going to put a headline on it, it was about Lynsey and it was about Ryan, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, and great stories for both of them, really. Lynsey's last game for Australia, go out with a gold medal. That's what dreams are made of, isn't it? And there's so much for Lynsey to come so far. Like, she's coaching now, she's a development coach. Who knows? Next World Championship, she might be coaching the next gold medalist herself. And
Dawn Hayman, Lynsey Clarke.